going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, there's no reason to, treat it any other way. The honesty is the reality. There's not going to be a lot of money for new hires, and the reason for that is principally because a lot of the economy is impacted much more than just what happens to new hires. A lot of people have been laid off, and new money that is coming in, that we're starting to see some money hitting the companies again, but they're going to be using that money principally first to bonus and increase salaries for those people who stayed on, because morale has been shot in this economic climate, and those people need to be treated well. And it's my opinion that a lot of that money that would have gone to new hires will first be diverted for those purposes, after which hiring will happen. Now, there is going to be hiring happening for young people and new degrees. There's no question that's going to happen. Actually, it's the worst probably in the last 2 or 3 years. Prior to this last 2 or 3 years, and I forget the numbers exactly right now, but I think in 2009, college degree, of all degrees, hiring is down about 25%, and the anticipation this year is it's going to be even lower than that. So there's going to be a lot of young people, and also the length of time between finding a job used to be anywhere from 30 to 9 months, 30 days to 9 months. Now we're starting to see that go to about 9 months to 13 months before a hire happens for a young person, a new graduate. You know, the dilemma for anybody who has just gotten a degree is, I need the job to get the experience, I need the experience to get the job. That's the dilemma. We've all gone through that. I don't care where you're at in your career, you do remember there was a time for that. And the reason, or I wouldn't say the reason, but the reality is you've got to be able to go in and express how you're going to add value to an organization. You know, the old days of writing a resume that said, I am seeking a rewarding and challenging career, forget it. Don't even tell me that. As a hiring manager, as somebody who's in business, I don't really care what you want. And I hate to be so blunt about it, but that's the reality. I really don't care what you want. The fact is, what are you going to do for me? The economy has changed significantly. I've got to watch every dollar. The fact is, if for every posting that goes out there, I get 300 to 500 resumes, if not 3,000 to 5,000. And I'm looking for every reason to eliminate as many as possible. Those people who tell me what they want, I don't care. Those people who tell me what they're going to do for me, I'm going to pay attention to those people. So you need to state unequivocally, after your contact information, I am capable of increasing value. I am capable of adding value to the organization. Another way of saying that is, I'm going to save you time because of my efficiencies and my skill set. Soft skills are so vital, and to a young person, and I've had this experience with my own son, he thought it was just corny to put this on his resume, but the reality is, soft skills meaning that you're a self-starter, you're a team player, it's all those cliche terms. You're courteous, you're on time, all those things. The fact is, an employer wants to know that. It is important, and once again, let's go back to this dilemma of no experience, no job. The fact is, you can fill some of that space on an empty resume by saying you are that, a team member, a team player, a self-starting, self-motivating. That stuff has a lot to do with it. And to go a little further, how do you do that? You go back and express organizations and achievements you've had previous to this, you're finishing school. Your number one accomplishment probably at the time you're graduating is your college degree. That is probably your most significant achievement. Push that out there, be proud of that. But also what you've done previously in life, academically, athletically, your church, volunteer organizations, if you helped a hospital or a church raise some money or something, state that. The reason for that is it shows that team player, it shows that self-starting. That's the kind of young person that a crusty old hiring manager like myself, if I was hiring, would be looking at. I want somebody who's going to add value. I want somebody who I'm not going to have to spend a lot of time training. And let's face it, any job, you know, college teaches you how to learn. You learn the job, OJT. You learn the job on the job. I have been told You know, now there's two questions there, or let me take that two different ways. Number one, if you're in college interning, I've been told by several HR professionals that a summer internship is equal to a full year of college. That's how they review it, that's how they look at it. You've got some real world experience, which does put you head and shoulders ahead of the competition. Now the other side of that question, as you asked it, was what about coming out of college? I'm done with school, should I want to intern? You might have to. You might have to go in and volunteer. You may want to go and spend 3 to 6 months proving your value, showing how fast a learner you are. Let me go back to corny, showing that you're a team player. But yes, so an intern might be a way of doing it, volunteering. Another way of doing it might be getting with an agency and temping, but I will tell you, when it comes to the temping positions, mostly they want people who have been experienced and have that skill set already in place. They're not going to train you to be a temp. But if you do have those skill sets, go for it. Is a lot of people don't have upgraded skill sets, and let's face it, Houston Community College offers that, brings a lot of that to the table. There are people out there, I know, my own age, who flat don't have computer skills. There's no excuse for that. They should come into HCC, they should try, they should learn, they need to get up to skill. I like to call them, and maybe not a polite way necessarily, but former masters of the universe who always had a staff doing this stuff for them. Things have changed. They've got to get the skills.